what you have right in front of you is your current life, your current marriage. This applies to the parenting. This applies to your lifestyle. That's what's right in front of you. It's looking you in the face. It's screaming at you sometimes. It's getting your attention. It's burning dinner on the stove. It's like all of the things that are happening in daily life. That's what's right in front of you. But the only way that you can create something different than what you have now is to mentally and emotionally create it in your mind.
Hi, I'm Rachel Denning from Instagram's World School Family and co-host of the Extraordinary Family Life podcast. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is taken from a live coaching session for my 28-day challenge for moms. And today we're talking about
could you share some ideas for writing things in our marriage vision? So the marriage vision is part of, I think it's marriage level 2. And it talks about having a vision of what your marriage is like. And this is important. This is actually connected to your family lifestyle, because in everything that you do with your life, creating an extraordinary family life has to be based off having a vision of what that possibility looks like. Because if we only focus on what's right in front of us, we just keep getting more of the day-to-day. So we have to be able to step out of that. And Greg likes to call it like the 30,000-foot view. It's like you fly up in an airplane and you're looking down on the ground. I mean, anyone who's been in an airplane, when you're up in the plane and you look down at the ground, you have a very different viewpoint than when you're standing in the forest. The whole, you can't see the forest for the trees thing. And like when you're right, that's like daily life, family life. It's like standing right in the forest, looking at the trees. But if you're going to create a vision, you have to get in that airplane and fly up into the sky and look down at your life and say, wow, what do I really want? It's not in front of you. And so you have to mentally go there to see it, right? Because what you have right in front of you is your current life, your current marriage. This applies to the parenting. This applies to your lifestyle. That's what's right in front of you. It's looking you in the face. It's screaming at you sometimes. It's getting your attention. It's burning dinner on the stove. It's like all of the things that are happening in daily life. That's what's right in front of you. But the only way that you can create something different than what you have now is to mentally and emotionally create it in your mind. You have to get a vision, and you have to, I never really understood this for a long time. And when I did, I realized how critically important it is. You have to feel it. You can't just think about it. You have to feel it, because the major driving force in your life are your emotions. And as long as you continue to feel the same emotions on a daily basis, you're going to continue to create the same things in your life. The more you feel anger, frustration, annoyance, irritation, the more you create things that bring anger, annoyance, frustration, irritation. So in order to change that cycle and change that pattern, you have to start creating intentionally different feelings. And that's where the vision comes into play. It's helping you to zoom out, and instead of responding or reacting to the things that are right in front of you and that are creating all of those different emotions, you're taking the time and energy and space to look at things differently and to feel differently about it. One of the keys to doing this well is to not come up with something that seems logical and reasonable, but to come up with something that like sparks your soul. Something that when you think about it or envision it, you're like, yeah, yes, that's it. Like it's just something that you know. And sometimes it's scary because you can simultaneously be terrified because you're like, I don't know how that could ever happen. I don't want to be disappointed. What is your vision? Add to it your energy. Add to it your your love, your excitement, your passion, get more clarity about it. Like, we have to use our imaginations the right way. Like, we have the gift of imagination. That's one amazing thing about human beings, is we have imagination. But too often we use imagination in the wrong way. We use imagination to envision worst case scenarios instead of using our imagination to create best case scenarios, or to talk about, or to think about, imagine what things could be like. And the more we use our imagination in that sort of way, the more we create the stepping stones that are going to take us to that ultimate vision. Just because you have a vision that excites you or that speaks to you does not necessarily mean that it's going to turn out exactly like that, or that you can't change your mind down the road. But what it does is it gives us this motivation to begin the journey. And then once we start taking the journey, we often end up finding things that are even better than what we had originally imagined. Unless you learn how to get a vision and then to review that vision mentally and emotionally to create new feelings, new emotions that will then in turn create the circumstances in your life. It's not necessarily easy. It can be very challenging. But I think I have discovered that, I'm not gonna lie, and every single thing that we have achieved in our life has been very difficult to figure out. Everything you want in life, in marriage, in parenting, in your family, with your finances, every single thing, do you know what it actually looks like? It looks like a lot of hard work. It's more hard work than you're currently doing. And I know, okay, because I've been there, and I'm not discounting what you're doing. You're already very busy. You're already doing a lot of things. But it's crazy to me that as busy as I thought I was and that I couldn't do anymore, what happens is as you pursue your dreams, you gain or you develop the capability to do even more. And that's how you achieve the things you actually want. So sometimes I think we imagine that, achieving our dream life looks like doing less. And in some ways that's true, because we do less of the things that don't matter, right? So there is that aspect to it. You eliminate the things that don't matter and the things that are getting in the way, the things that are holding you back. You get rid of that, but you end up replacing it with more work, but of things that actually matter and get the results that you want. Your dream life is going to be more work than you're currently doing. And the reason why is because if it was less work, you would already have your dream life, right? Like, you'd already have it. You'd already have the perfect kids. You'd already have all the money, because it's less work, but it's not. It requires more work, and it actually requires you to become more than you currently are. And that can seem like an overwhelming thought, and it can seem discouraging, but I promise you, when you embrace it with the right attitude or heart set or mindset, it's actually awesome. It's actually exciting. You learn to enjoy the journey more. You're happier, you're less stressed, you can handle challenges better. And I'm speaking from experience, because I was the one stressing and crying and all of these things. And now, because I work on developing myself, I can handle more, I can do more, and I can do it without getting upset and without feeling overwhelmed. So it's not something to feel overwhelmed about. It's actually something to be excited about, because you become a more capable person who can do these things and can create the life that you dream of while being happier. If there is one thing that I have learned that has made all the difference in creating the life of my dreams, it's learning how to do this with the emotion behind it. For a long time, I discounted how important the emotion is. But when we can learn to get ourselves in higher states of positive emotion more often, that is what is going to change your life more than anything else. Get yourself in higher states of emotion, as often as possible. And sometimes the only way to do that, because I get it, sometimes we feel like our lives totally suck and there's nothing to be happy or excited about. So in those cases, and I've been there, like I have literally been there. I remember waking up in the morning and feeling like I would rather be asleep because my dreams were better than my real life. I have been there. And in those cases, the only thing that you can do to change that is to use your imagination to create that better world in your mind and then to feel excitement and gratitude about it.